So I'm actually here in Arizona looking at the impact of this meteor. So I'm on a tour right now and I'm gonna check it out. So it's kind of interesting to see what it's gonna look like. So let's see, I'm on a tour right now. What part of Arizona is this? This is considered what?
Winslow, Arizona.
Winslow, Arizona. Okay. Thank you. So,
Where are you from?
I'm from California, doing a road trip to the Midwest, and I keep getting sidetracked with stuff.
In the ground.
Well, no, I was at the Beartopia, where it's like a drive-through safari.
Arizona?
Arizona, and then I went to the reindeer thing where you could feed reindeer year-round, and then I was like, wait, the crater's here. Because I remember at the Griffith Observatory in Los Angeles, they told me, oh, that's where you want to go if you ever have a chance. So
Nice.
this was just spurt of the moment in the last hour.
Good opportunity.
Yeah, I was just like, you know what? Probably never do it again, so enjoy it while I can. Wow. That's huge. I know it was so big. Wow, that is...
Holy moly, holy cow, right? That's the whole story, guys. Let's go back inside. First mine shaft, the white spot fenced in down at the bottom. There's a 15-foot steam boiler, that black equipment right there to the left. And there's a 6-foot astronaut statue standing right there, just to show you guys 6 foot at half a mile. 550 feet in depth, 4,000 feet in diameter, nearly a mile. 2.5 miles in circumference all the way around the crater. Keep in mind, when impact occurring, penetrating 1,400 feet, 550 feet or less today. But in the process, uplift, like stages. The stratoline is right there, the eastern wall. But being able to uplift and flip the desert floor in reverse of its natural order. That's what was happening here. We're 150 feet above the desert floor. That's only 15 feet below us right here. Pretty crazy to see that right there, right? So 130, 35 feet, that red being right there. The layers going in, white, yellow, red, red, yellow, white into the bottom of the crater. I'll show you guys the wall at a better angle when we get to our final point before coming back. Any questions about the mining, looking out and about? Exactly a mile? Under a mile, north to south. Any questions? We'll continue. Yeah.
What was mined here?
He was looking for meteorite. What he believed to be caverns of iron turned out to be bits and pieces. Behringer spent $500,000 going bankrupt, but acquired the land back then, homesteading this place. The crater has been in the private possession of the Behringer family for 6 generations now today.
It is still under.
Yeah. The family's still privately owned. They leased their crater to the company to make this all happen for the public. But one of the big reasons why this crater has been charging mostly people is because you travel through territory that belongs to Barty Bar Ranch. That access way, 6-mile stretch of road, was built in 1944 of Barty Bar, a dirt road, to get out here. Because people getting stuck, they would help. They would charge them if they did that. They were taking their time from watching cattle to help these people out. That's what they run still today, an active cattle company. They're east of the crater. These observation decks, the top one, if you check that one out and look east, you'll see the ranch settlement over there. But they're a big part of the crater family still today. Any other questions? Anything? Let's continue on.
Oh, sorry, I'll get Joy. So this is the impact of what the crater did. It's huge. Wow, that's so impressive.
One more thing as you're making your way.
He's telling us.
Being restricted to the public. When we take groups down into the bottom to help research this place. The northwestern corner opposite is where we go down from. Down in this corner bottom here, that far corner wall. Block the shade, or the sun with the shade. You'll see the line indented in that bottom wall there. But that's the only way we go down and out that hiking trail today. You guys want to do that right now? $100 each, cash only. Okay.
So this is just a walkthrough. Sorry. I'm sorry, I got in your way. And it is cold up here. As I'm walking, it is very, very cold up here. But as you can see, literally just like in the desert, it's just nothing but desert. But these rocks and formations are so beautiful here.
How you guys feeling other than a little bit winded and chilly? Yeah? Any questions walking along the rim, coming up here, anything at all, looking out and about? No? Nothing at all? So you guys know why a moon rock tastes better than an earth rock? Anybody?
Because it's made of cheese.
It's actually a little meteor.
Oh,
Meteor?
yeah.
Tough crowd. Everybody's hungry or cold. One of them. So remember I told you guys the desert floor in reverse of its natural order? When hit, imploding, uplifting, flipping over on itself. Red Montcopi sandstone, yellow Kaibab limestone, white coconino sandstone. All this consists of mass amounts of sandstone and limestone, nothing of volcanic. This being considered volcanic was the only way to explain something we've never seen before. 100 years ago, we've never seen it happen, and still today we've never seen one of these impact. We can simulate it. The closest we can get to is a bomb. That's 2 A-bombs right behind you that form the crater. 20 megaton explosion. Being able to release that energy, wipe out the zone, push down trees that were once there, that have now faded away. But the area is not flat because of the impact. Still the same. Just missing all the trees that once used to be all about. The only trees you see here on the rim are all back on the south rim because it's the only wall that never flipped over. It's the highest point that went up and pretty much got raised back. That's why you guys see the nice layers there. And if you guys really look at it, if you went to the Grand Canyon, it kind of looks like a cliff dwelling there. Any questions about reverse stratigraphy? Seeing those colors in reverse, look back towards the visitor center, the wall going down into the crater floor. White, yellow, red, red, yellow, white. And those that really can't see through people looking that way, this way as well. White, yellow, red, yellow, white. So once again, that desert floor is 15 feet below us. We're 200 feet above that, or 150 feet above the desert floor. All these rocks take a shock and heat pressure in most of them, all of them. Crystallization form because of that pressure. Shock quartz of forms of geodes. Right here on this red rock here, you're going to notice a lot of crystallization form right here on this top point. You guys can check that out on your own. And if you guys want to check out this rock here, man, that kid did a number to this one. He was all like a geode. But again, you can feel the dexterity of this rock, how sharp and edgy this is. So again, check that out. And any questions of anything I've said again so far?
Why is that one sharp, you said? What was the reason?
So most of that happens because of heat and pressure and a lot of the water erosion that has occurred over a time frame. So again, mostly what you see of these rocks that have these holes in them are small now and like a wave dexterity, that water erosion hitting and then rolling off the rock. But the way the rocks look, a lot of the heat, especially this one right here. You guys check out this rock on this side. It looks like it's been melted to a point. Like I consider like using food resemblance to this, like a baked good, like dough. Think of dough, how it soft, expands, and hardens rapidly. And what happens when you overbake it? It starts to solidify, gets hardened even more. That's what the rocks were doing, of hardening up, but rapidly cooling off because of all the moisture that was in the area. So again, pocket air bubbles are some of these holes on the rock. Think of like pancake batter. When it goes down in the hole, that batter, the wet, starts forming those little bubbles on one side. But just showing you guys, any questions other? This wind's really killing everybody, huh? Yeah.
Did the meteor hit flat land or?
Yeah, flat land. So again, when hitting flat, embedding, and then uplifting everything, boom, and unfolding over on itself.
When did this happen again?
50 to 60,000 years ago. The crater being found doesn't really have a first finder, but 1400s indigenous tribes in the area, evidence being found of petrified, or petroglyphs and also artifacts here in the area. But after that, 1871, U.S. Army just considered it a hole in the ground, calling it Franklin's Hole. And then 20 years later, USGS head chief geologist would call this volcanic crater. And then, early 20th century, Barringer disbelieved meteor caused, not volcanic. He went to the science community, said his piece, and brought evidence of meteorite. Wasn't enough. He was laughed off the stage and considered delusional for a fact, because they didn't believe foreign objects to fall from the sky and cause these like this. So he passed away in 1929 when done with the crater, returning home, unexpected heart attack. And his descendants have now made this possible of what it is today, what he knew in 1906. Meteor caused. This is now Barringer Space Museum and Meteor Crater. So it would take so long because nobody believed in this thing, and for a bomb to be invented. Bombs were invented in the 40s, which Dr. Shoemaker would put that theory here, finding nuclear test site mineral qualities here, but found for the first time ever natural, not because of a bomb. But bomb crater just went to help assist into meteor crater, and then years later, for a decade, 60s into the 70s, astronaut training for the Apollo mission here, realistically using this place for its geographical and geological learning of the area. Suits, tools, equipment, and a rover on the outskirts. Several models of the suits were tested here, when the first one ripped the arm sleeve while slipping on trail, catching a rock and tearing that sleeve. The astronaut angrily stated in an interview, if this happened on the moon, I'd be dead. That's why several models of the suit were brought back here to test. They'd suit these astronauts in and go, ah! I'm just kidding. But that's how NASA is involved with the crater. They come often, but not all the time. When they're here, 4 weeks ago, we had a rover team doing stuff on the eastern side of the crater, close to the ranch. They're usually in areas where they don't like to be seen by the public, but we know they're here. They just are in areas where you guys aren't allowed to be. But when they're on the rim or down in the bottom, we don't close down. We want you guys to see anything and everything, just like the astronaut, just like the 15-foot boiler down there. Give me like 30 minutes and you'll see me down there waving at you guys. And you guys head back in, I'll call somebody to open the door. I'm just kidding. But again, it's very, it's a pretty good privilege when they're able to let people go down, especially those research groups. The crater actively research yearly, just to do the fact that these are similar to craters not only here on Earth, around the world, but other planets, the moon. They want to see if the erosion factor still is similar in its ways, because there's areas where we don't think water is on planets to where we see their craters and they're eroding just like this. So it's either high wind or a lot of moisture that helps those. Over a time frame, the crater of erosion, 250 feet has filled out of 50, 60,000 years. 1,400 feet cut in half, mushroom cloud falling back in, redepositing. High winds pushing in dirt in and around this place, slowly filling up. It's a good thing you guys came today. Any questions? Anything? Thank you guys for all coming out. I'm glad to see nobody's ears are bleeding or nobody fell over yet. If you guys are going to take pictures, you guys are more than welcome to. If you guys are ready to head back inside, I know it is pretty chilly. You guys are able to, but I got to wait till everybody leaves the area. So it's going to be me getting back last most of the time. So again, if you run into the 13-foot hairy guy, just run the opposite way. Okay? okay? I'm just kidding. But again, any questions? Nothing at all. Thank you guys for all coming out. If you guys want to take pictures, this is one of the best spots right here behind me. If you guys want me to do it for you, I can too as well.